online broadcast network, Afterbuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. Afterbuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
I really want this to go for the 4 minutes that it is. Our special guest told us about a Rusev hip-hop entrance theme, and it is amazing. This is awesome. Just like all of you that are watching live on AfterbuzzTV.com, streaming on YouTube, listening on iTunes and SoundCloud. By the way, if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe, and don't forget to leave comments and talk with us, because we always love interacting with all you as we talk about this week's SmackDown. Welcome to AfterBuzz, everybody. I am Christian Rosenberg. Joining me this week, first off, he was here last week. We liked him so much, we brought him back. It's a soapbox, Mr. Mark Donica.
I'm a seat filler, and you know it.
Well, yeah, Corey is on a red carpet tonight, so you're taking her role.
Yeah, and let's not talk. Are we not going to talk about Rome?
Well, we'll talk about him in a minute, but first let's talk about our very special guest that's filling in for Rome. This guy's an incredible stand-up comedian. Has an awesome podcast called Wrestling with Depression. You can find on iTunes. One of the masterminds behind $5 Wrestling. And you always got to look up on YouTube for worst promo ever. Yeah. It's so good. And there's probably a bunch of other stuff that I'm not even listening. But he's at Marty Derosa on Twitter, and he's here in studio. He's Marty Derosa.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for being here.
And I'm glad to give you the gift of this Rusev hip-hop remix.
Behind this Rusev hip-hop remix and that kick-ass Rockers t-shirt you're sporting.
Vintage.
That is super vintage. Yeah, you're filling in this week because Rome, well, I own a wrestling company out here called Alpha Omega Wrestling. And we know Rome's been silent with a knee injury. And he was part of my stable there called The Regime. And it's just like, well, we're trying to move forward, and he's kind of holding us back. So we politely dragged him out of the ring and said he's no longer a member of our group.
You cut him loose.
Well, yeah, best of luck on his future endeavors in Alpha Omega Wrestling. Wow. Even though I didn't really full out fire him, I just kicked him out of the group. So then,
Mean Girl style.
My arch nemesis stepdaddy had a match for his career, and I decided to be the referee, to be impartial. And Rome, he decided to get involved. He, I guess we have a video for it, which will air.
There we go.
So I'm just simply giving a chair because he was tired, and Rome decides to come out. Kill him. And I'm just talking with a fan.
Let's go into him too bad.
And Rome decided to hit me over the head with a chair. And of course, we have to see that again. Apparently,
do we have to? Because that was gross. That was gross.
It was
the
gross,
TV
wasn't
says, let's see it again.
We have to listen to the
So you have to listen to television.
The monitor said it.
Yeah.
So,
how's your face? Well, I could answer that, but that would be rude.
Well, it was more so like the whiplash of flying to the ground that it hurt quite a bit.
Yeah, Chris Nowinski's going to be calling in very soon. Not happy about those chair shots. Not happy at all.
It was not sanctioned.
Yeah. Fill out this form at the end. Your brain will go to the institute when your day is. Like when you die.
Thanks, buddy.
Jeez. Okay.
Well, so because of breaking the chair to the head rules.
See, it's starting already.
I'm out of it. Romar has been suspended from AfterBuzz for this week.
The power grows.
The power. Somehow I make rules here too.
Actually, we sent him on a 5-star vacation and cruise for doing that.
Thanks, buddy.
Give me a chair. I gotta clock him real quick.
Well, as I'm kind of recovering, Marty, kind of tell us a little bit about your podcast as we're getting ready in the midst of our podcast here. You're Wrestling with Depression. I went to listen to it, and being you're a comedian, I'm expecting, all right, wrestling, comedy, it's going to be a lot of this funny stuff.
Yes.
But it's not at all what I expect. It's actually very interesting.
It's kind of the other side of me. I like to, I'm very silly when I perform. I can be very dirty. And when I do Wrestling with Depression, basically this is the kind of conversation you'll have with a lot of comedians after the show. Everybody's talking about their issues with depression, which is the main topic, but we cover a lot of other grounds. Basically, it's anybody in any type of artistic field that deals with mental illness and how they're, in spite of that, still getting stuff done. And I talk about wrestling as much as humanly possible, and I will intertwine that throughout the podcast. And a lot of times we'll have wrestlers on who sometimes we'll just talk about wrestling. I've got an episode up with Kevin Steen it's called a Fun Cast. We just kind of have all things fun.
Kevin Owens?
Well, no, this is Kevin Steen, who went to help El Generico in Mexico with the orphanage.
Got it.
And then I have one with Tommaso Ciampa where we do talk about depression, and it's I've never heard a wrestler open up like this. It was amazing.
Definitely stuff to check out if you have not already. That is for sure. But we'll talk a little more about all your wonderful ventures, but let's get into the wonderful world of SmackDown. Hailing from the University of Texas this week, and kicks off with what's kind of turned into SmackDown's version of John Cena, Daniel Bryan.
That's the plan? That's the plan?
I guess
That's the plan. I heard he's got big plans for SmackDown.
Yeah.
He's talking King of the Ring. He wants to do all sorts of stuff, and I think he's realized
King of the Ring back.
I think he's realized, like, this will be my show then.
Yeah.
Go take Raw. I'll take SmackDown.
Especially because John Cena has his place in the company, and giving not necessarily just the fans but the talent all a chance to kind of breathe without him sort of on every single segment of the show. It's refreshing. It makes SmackDown different.
Saying John Cena has a place on Raw.
we fit him in a spot.
Yeah. It's kind of that. It's your world, and everyone else just lives in it. That's the sentiment for John Cena on Raw. Yeah, it's
some sort of Iron Throne.
Planet Cena and other wrestlers just are in his orbit.
Yeah, and even when he's not on SmackDown, because Daniel Bryan starts in the ring, he's saying, I could talk about how I'm going to go to the Rumble, win it, and then go to WrestleMania, win back the title. I could talk about how Sting made his very first appearance ever on Raw, which was not emphasized enough by commentators in my mind. I could talk about the Authority.
The fitness DVDs.
Which they talked about several times tonight.
That's the joke. Like that's
I don't get it. They made this product.
They spent money on this product,
and they spent the entire show just crapping all over it. I love it.
But then he goes, but Cena did something very important.
Yeah.
We're not talking about Daniel Bryan. Cena did something, and I want to bring out the guys that he saved. Out comes Ryback, Rowan, and Ziggler. Pretty much the gist of these promos that they all gave. Ryback is excited. Rowan is articulate. And Ziggler watched the workout DVDs.
Yeah.
That was the main gist that I got out of these promos.
He doesn't want to be home on his couch.
He does not.
Bitching on podcasts.
Complaining on podcasts. Yeah. Who would want to be sitting and talking about podcasts? I don't. It's weird.
Did you actually see CM Punk's rebuttal? Because they tweeted the line. WWE tweeted that line out. That exact line out.
Did.
No, I did not see the rebuttal.
Sure they did.
Wasted arrows.
Oh, interesting.
Which is true. Who gives a crap?
Yeah.
Like that,
I mean, and it might have meant something if it came out like the day after.
No, yeah.
If anything. But yeah.
I mean, we're still talking about Survivor Series, so apparently everybody's still in November.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. So Mike actually made an appearance on a worst promo ever, I recall.
I believe so. We gave him a chance.
You gave him a chance?
Yeah.
How'd he do?
I think he did okay. I think he did okay. I think if the MMA career doesn't work, then he can jump to,
He could jump in.
Making silly videos. Making silly videos. My forte.
So they're all talking. They're all celebrating their back. Out comes the Authority, minus Triple H and Stephanie. And Seth Rollins mentions that we have a Survivor Series reunion, like you were mentioned, Mark, except Bryan's playing the role of Cena, which is exactly what just happened.
Everybody remember John Cena? No, we don't.
Who?
I think in Cena's honor.
Oh, that was the rapper guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
The dude with the chain around his neck.
In Cena's honor for him not being there, they should have all wore some jorts. I just think if you can't have Cena on TV, you need somebody with jorts.
No, it's like basketball. You hang the jorts up from the ceiling, and
hang him in a
spotlight on it the whole night.
Yeah.
Ziggler, in the midst of this, challenges Seth Rollins to a match. Rollins says no, and also mentions the DVDs are actually phenomenal. And Kane mentions that all three of the guys are going to compete in Rumble qualifying matches tonight, and Dan O'Brien has to go through him if he has any chance of getting to the Rumble. Then he passes the mic to Big Show, who calls Dan O'Brien a mall hamster. And then Big Show hands the microphone right back to Kane.
Just some amazing work on the microphone there. Like, you could see that mall hamster line was just fighting out of him, and he goes, I need the mic. Mall hamster, boom, back to you, big man.
Then, yeah, he said, back to you, big man, or large man who is not as large as I am.
Yeah, I was waiting for
Junior.
tell him, Kane. Yeah.
But no, you should have stood behind him and gone like, what? What you got? You can't beat Mall Hamster. No one can. Promo of the year.
Are you marking it now?
I'm marking it now. Promo
We're
of
in
the
January.
year.
You're still saying promo of the year.
Hey, if NXT can get match of the year in the first week of January.
And where?
On the WWE Network for $9.99.
Oh.
There you go. There's my Michael Cole for the evening. It's just bad. Who's giving them notes? That's what I want to know.
And was this before or after everybody put over Brock Lesnar as the hot new babyface in the WWE?
Yeah, this was in the midst of.
I felt like it was like, if you think John Cena's cool, wait till we talk about Brock Lesnar, everybody's new best friend, the hero that saved everybody.
And he was like, on everyone's side, apparently.
Yeah.
When did this guy become everyone's buddy?
Hey, you F5 a couple giants. You spear.
You don't mess with them.
You spear Seth Rollins, and all of a sudden, you turn down Triple H's offer for getting some steaks. Get some steaks. You turn that offer down. All of a sudden, you are the #1 hot baby face.
They were talking about him like he was Batman before Batman was a thing. Like all the people, like there's this guy named Brock Lesnar. He's helping everybody, and then the authorities like, no, we got to get this guy. No, we got our guy. Don't worry about it. So bizarre. Not as like the promo last week with Rollins and Heyman. That was one thing, and we've kind of gotten over that. But it's just like, who are we rooting for? Who are you telling us to root for?
I think the new hero after John Cena is Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
Clearly.
Forget Cena.
We now have 2 heroes. All right. We used to just have 1 hero.
Now
we have 2 heroes, and I say we as
double the heroes.
The mid card of the WWE roster.
I like how we're representing the mid card of the roster.
We are the mid card roster right now. Because I beat you last week, but then you beat me, and then you beat him, but
there was no storyline.
He beat you, and one of us is the Intercontinental Champion. But it doesn't matter. Why would it matter? Why would a beautiful white title who men have fought for years matter?
Well, we have that said champion, Bad News Barrett, now suddenly wrestles Ziggler, and if Ziggler wins, he will qualify to be in Rumble, and Ziggler wins, as we were just talking about.
A good match.
That was a great match.
Great match.
Barrett, the only reason that he took the title was because Ziggler was getting fired. He has not brought any sort of. He hasn't made it important like Ziggler had.
Has he won a non-title match since he's won the title?
Yes, he won the return match against Sin Cara.
That was a title match.
Oh, that was a title match.
I'm sure you might have won maybe something somewhere.
Yeah.
And also, too, it's like, all right, Wade, we're going to make you the Intercontinental Champion.
For the 5th time.
And you know the coolest thing you do when you come out with the mic and tell everybody you got some bad news?
Don't forget that.
Don't worry about that.
You got the title now.
We're going to give you the intro. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about that.
Now new viewers are like, why is he Bad News? What? That's his name? I don't get it.
Yeah, I was waiting weekly for the it's BNB. Loved it. He did it when he came out. I was like, where have I heard that before? But I love it. I love it. Let's take it away from him. It's too good.
That's a great idea.
Too fun.
Stop.
Yeah.
You're getting over in something out of the ordinary. Yeah. Let's end this.
We love everything you're doing, except stop doing all of it. And lose to Sin Cara.
I'm going to tweet Zack Ryder. I don't know why. I just have this feeling. I'm sorry, what? Were you doing something?
Okay. Quick little recap from Raw of the Ascension pretty much descending.
Yeah.
Because
into the wasteland.
3 legendary, was it 3? The Outlaws, the Acolytes, and the NWO/DX.
Well,
they're all there.
6 is everywhere.
But really, it was just Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, and JBL who dished out anything. The rest of them just kind of stood there.
And did that.
And pointed.
Try not to hurt themselves by going like ouch.
Yeah. Well, JBL was stretching his arm to make sure he didn't pull a Kobe.
Sure.
Oh, I made a basketball reference. Yay!
Entertainment.
But now, apparently, on the Royal Rumble, we'll have the Ascension going 2-on-2. I was about to say 1-on-1. I was about to say 1-on-1. That doesn't make sense.
1-on-1 and 1-on-1
And
that chair shot.
You have a way with words.
That chair shot has screwed me up.
I'm telling you.
God. Going up against the New Age Outlaws, who 1 year ago went on the Royal Rumble and won the tag team titles.
Which is weird. Yeah. It's weird to think, but I'm happy as an a longtime NXT follower to see the Ascension get a match with such a legendary tag team. And not Too Cool, which they did already. Let's not talk about it.
Oh, that's right. They did do that.
They did. Men annihilated.
Well, they can save that for another Raw.
Yeah. Another Raw reunion in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Do you think eventually though something will come out of this where we go, oh, that's why they've been doing all this?
I hope.
Hopefully this match.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
hopefully they destroy them.
No, I don't. I want this to be a match that they've had down in NXT. Billy is responsible for training them. So what better way to sort of finally graduate than to teacher versus students?
I have an idea.
Yeah,
I'm willing to let the WWE run with this.
All right. They sometimes listen
all the time. Yeah.
Before the Ascension come out or rise up, whatever they do. Paul Ellering, Precious Paul, Motorcycle, Rocco, boom, done. Who else do you want me to fix? Give me some more names.
Why not Fuji?
How you mentioned it? You mentioned or Fuji brings out a
with
team.
Demolition or Powers of Pain.
Fuji brings out Demolition. All right, Demolition destroys the Ascension, and they punch Fuji on the way out. And then as they leave, they go up to Fuji and do the hey, you're not so bad. You'd be our manager. Powers of Pain style. And beat the Conquistadors. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Were you hitting the chair too?
I was hitting a chair and then strapped to that chair and made to watch numerous old school shows on the network.
Got it.
I know this bar where they make a mean chair. It's very delicious.
Delicious chair shots.
Full of booze. Yeah, chair shots. That's what I'm saying.
I got it.
It's a booze joke.
Okay. I understand the joke.
That was the joke.
Right. Renee Young's backstage with Roman Reigns, pretty much asking, so how did you feel being in the ring with the Big Show after he knocked out Ric Flair on Raw? And I actually thought Reigns did a really good job in this promo overall. I like the line of Big Show always reminding us he's a giant, but you know who never reminded us he was a giant? Andre the Giant.
Well, Giant isn't his name, though.
True, but he did constantly.
He's not just
say
Andre.
That's fair. He didn't remind you, but it was reminded of you.
Right.
If anybody, blame the face.
Subliminal marketing.
And then also mentioned he didn't want the Big Show spot. He wants his own. But then it went on, and the promo went on, and it went on some more. It got way too wordy for me. Like he had some really good points, and then could have cut it like 30 seconds sooner.
I like Roman when he's a strong man with few words and his actions speak louder. He's done that a couple times, giving him the mic a little bit more. He doesn't need that. He just has this aura about him that that everybody enjoys. Like in the Royal Rumble last year, it wasn't just because they didn't want Batista to win, but just due to his actions and everything that he was doing, made everybody look at him differently. And now when they're like, oh, they're looking at you, let's here say this, as opposed to no, just let him do it. That seems to be the thing, is they're not letting people just do what they're good at, and they're trying to say, no, you can be good at this. It's anti-Heyman.
Yeah, and it also feels a little. You know what worked for The Rock? You should try this, and it just doesn't seem.
He's not The
genuine.
Rock.
It doesn't seem genuine.
No,
it seems like sometimes I'll see a comedian and I'll go, oh, I bet I know who he's a big fan of, or I bet I know who she's a big fan of. You see the influence, and I feel like they've just locked him in a room and made him watch Rock promos over and over and over again, and it doesn't. I don't think everybody has to be funny. I don't know why there's a thing where like you get to the top and you have to be funny. What about just being serious? He's so like you said, when he was a year ago in the Shield, he just got his little line off, quiet
at the end.
It was
great. Yeah.
And they were like, "Yep, that's awesome. That's awesome." Because I don't think he hasn't changed much besides what he says. He still does the same way in the ring, and you can kind of see, okay, here's the moves, and then the 5 moves. Everyone has their moves. Bret the Man Hart had his moves.
Yeah, he did.
Austin had his moves. You know what I mean? That's just the deal. You get your moves, you do them. But I think it's just this matter of being like, we're pushing them down your throats, and he's gonna say suckering stuff attack or whatever.
Yeah,
and
that.
But I think SmackDown's the perfect place for him to do those, backstage or even in front of the crowd, kind of try it out, see how it goes, see what works. But I mean, I'm not ready to crucify the guy yet or be like, nah, this guy, I don't like this guy.
No, because we've seen him just
giving him a chance, giving him a chance, and of the people who we have pushed down our throats, he's like not the lesser of all the evils. But I mean, we'll see Sunday.
Because he's still super impressive too. Everything that he does in the ring, well, most things that he does in the ring are still just really impressive for a dude his size.
And meanwhile, and we'll be doing our Rumble picks later on, but it's like, one of the biggest feuds that's been happening that is not for the WWE title has been Reigns and Big Show, and that is not happening on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, they don't get the blow-off match.
That's what I'm thinking. It's just that might be the end of the Rumble, though. That's what I mean. If you're going by everything, you're going, okay, it's going to be a Superman punch with Big Show on the apron, and then he falls out, and then Reigns wins the Rumble, and the crowd in Philly might not like that.
No, yeah, because last year the crowd will speak their mind.
I think it's Philly. It's like I feel like Vince is like, who said we should do this in Philly? This is not a good idea. Why are we doing this in
years
Philly?
in advance?
Yeah. Like, oh no,
I didn't know it was in Philly.
And I have a feeling that there's just going to be, and who knows? The crowd could be like, yeah, we like this dude. But I don't know how Brian's going to figure into everything and all that. But I feel like Ziggler will have I'm going to come in early and I'm going to be in way till the end. And everybody's going to have their spots, but I think at the end, if you're kind of watching, like you said, there's no match between them or anything, I think it's going to be him, tossing out the Big Show or knocking out the Big Show or whatever. And I don't think that's enough.
Oh, no, not at all.
There's also, we still got the last pay-per-view. We've got Fastlane coming, so...
Hey, can you guys wait for we're in the Fastlane puns?
Guaranteed to lose your mind.
Fastlane WrestleMania.
Michael, that's live in the Fastlane, Michael.
We got a performance by the Eagles.
Yeah.
What a way to stay current.
There will be a car. Will there be a car out on the stage?
There'll be so many cars.
So many cars for Fastlane.
There's like 4 of them, and look, it's fast.
I want
a broken traffic light.
Here's what I want. You know how they have the guardrails, the rails, around the ring? Race car tracks. Race car tracks all around the ring.
And little Hot Wheel cars just like constantly going.
Maybe a couple loop-de-loops.
If only.
Booker T's like, wow, that one just flipped around. Wow.
Backstage with Fandango. Apparently, we're picking Rumble numbers on Thursday. We don't pick them on the day of the actual Rumble anymore.
No.
Well, 4 people do.
Well, yeah. So Fandango picks a number after Rosa spun it. He's thrilled with the number, and he's proud of her, and they're pretty much making out. Then you see a hand sneak in, grab a ball.
Who is it?
Doesn't like it. Looks at Fandango's that he left on the table. Puts his down. Grabs the other one. Pans out. It's that wisecracking Dean Ambrose.
Damn it.
With the referee right there watching this.
I'm totally okay with this. I'm totally okay with this.
No, it's like he's grossed out by the PDA, so he's like, you know what, I'll let it slide.
Yeah,
These guys are gross.
Yeah.
So
picking those balls and having the ball with you, also legally binding contract.
And here's what I don't like.
If Ambrose comes in before 10, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah. The man who drew number 2. I don't know why the thing's calling it. In my mind, he should call everything. But the ping pong balls, they had the numbers on them, so why couldn't you just look down and be like, oh, I'll take 30?
Yeah, you could.
The old school ones, you had to open it.
It's like the pop button. Yeah.
Yeah, is that what the refs are?
Cheaper.
Don't look.
Yeah. like when you're playing, you throw numbers in a hat or something. Oh, here we go, and you're just like, oh, I definitely see that right there. I'm gonna just pick that one. Yeah.
Oh. I hope we get some more of these on Sunday with the same. And I want it to happen where we're drawing them and we actually see the amount of balls get less.
Well, and also too,
everybody, they're picking them.
Everybody grabbed their ball. They were like this. Very secretive. Check out my number. Damn it.
It's nothing like my number.
Yeah. That could be a whole documentary is just following up on the peoples who would grab their ball, their reaction, and then when they actually came out.
Well, yeah, because
I'm sure back in the day, like Slick had the ball and he's like, "Here you go, Warlord." And he's like, "Awesome." No, dummy, you're number 2. Oh, well, there's no number on it. We're faking all of this. I don't know anything.
I thought that meant I was second place.
I'm second to last, right?
Oh man.
Ryback versus Rusev. We go from kind of like the finesse and technical styles of Barrett and Ziggler to this was just power and lots of it.
Yep. I could pick you up and throw you, and then you could pick me up and throw me.
And we'll do that repetitively for 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
It was a lot of fun to watch.
This is how you do a strongman match. Like, there are ones where it's like, test of strength. You won. All right, let's do test of strength again.
I can't even recall one, like, I'm just going to put you in a chin lock for a while and just catch my breath. It seemed, it was just nonstop.
We got an Alabama slam from the Russian.
Albania slam? Is that a thing?
There you go.
Albania slam?
It is now.
Is that a thing?
The Bulgarian Buster.
Sure.
And he has to create a new name. They can't have him say Alabama Slam for Rusev, can they?
Well, he's the United States champion. Of course he can do that.
I guess, yeah.
Representing Alabama.
Yeah. Now residing in Alabama.
Seasonal residents in Alabama.
Yeah. Who makes their seasonal residents in Alabama?
It's,
Alexander Rusev, he's trying to be a man of the people.
Yeah.
All right.
The winters are reasonable.
Not as bad as Romania or
yeah, the only person I could see besides Bob Holly, obviously, but it reminds me of like old WCW when like the heel would come out and be like, I'm from anywhere but Alabama, and then the babyface would come out and whisper to Gary Michael Capetti and be like, the Z-Man has informed me he would be proud to be from Alabama. He wants to live with us.
He thinks we're cool.
Yeah.
He's moving in next week.
Ryback goes for the meat hook, but Rusev rolls out of the ring. Ryback then attacks him on the outside and thankfully listens to the referee because at the count of 9, he hops off, rolls back in the ring, and wins via countout. So Ryback is in the Rumble. And then Rusev was pissed, hopped in the ring, attacked him.
I love that out of nowhere. Like Ryback was kind of like, yeah, I won. And then you see out of nowhere, Rusev.
Yeah. And then Rusev went for his big kick. Ryback caught it into the meat hook, lifted him up for shell shock. Rusev got out of the ring in time, but Ryback getting one up on Rusev, who have also had some type of feud over the United States title,
and now
that's not happening on Sunday.
Yeah, and some people might think, like we've got somebody in the chat talking about that it's been a build to a non-ending, where I think an ending would be a decisive pin. We haven't seen the pin yet on either side, so there's still room for this to go somewhere. Hopefully.
Would it go? Is it going to go all the way to Mania?
It's going to go to the fast lane.
Maybe, they might take a pit stop in the fast lane for that U.S. title match.
Well, because they're probably going to do the Andre the Giant over the top Battle Royal again, so that takes up a whole bunch of people, and I think whoever the Intercontinental Champion was last year was in the Battle Royal.
Ziggler, I think.
Yeah, Ziggler, Barrett, or Miz, or one of them.
It was one of them.
One of the IC champ
one of the
placeholders.
One of the 3 of us was in it.
Yeah.
Divas
do you think they'll do another Andre?
They said
they were going to do an annual.
Okay,
so because it might
end up being the pre-show this year.
Worked for Cesaro.
Yeah, a couple months.
Brie versus Naomi, Paige and Natalya on commentary, and we don't hear pretty much any commentary in this match. It's just Paige and Natalya arguing, but they're friends, but they're not.
Yes, like playing the role of AJ is now Paige.
Yeah.
I want to know if you're my friend or not. I don't know. I like to be alone.
You do so many impressions.
I do. And
you transformed. If I closed my eyes, I would have thought Paige was here.
Oh, I'm Paige. I was in NXT and now I'm in the WWE.
I want to ask you about your it's not you.
No,
what the hell?
It's me.
Tricking me.
It's me. But yeah, a little frenemies.
I'm sorry, I had that was an interesting moment there. I wanted it to sit in.
You gotta love a good frenemy angle between the ladies, because we know these Bellas, they're tight.
Yes.
Never going to turn on each other.
Never.
And if
Never
they did,
have, never will.
And if the Bellas ever had an issue,
they just talk it out.
They would just talk it out and it would go away. You wouldn't even know it was
because they're sisters.
You wouldn't even know there were still issues with them.
They're sisters. They love each other.
Yeah. Blood is thicker than water. I can't even do it. It's terrible.
I didn't want you to die in the womb. I took that back. I was just kidding. Okay.
I don't even remember that line ever being said.
Oh yeah. I did.
I wish you died in the... Was that the Springer?
Yeah.
I was kidding.
That was
that was a joke.
Maybe a Springer. I don't know.
It was me forgetting that feud ever happened. That was a joke with
I just hope Jerry Springer knows that he did a good job.
Jerry Springer actually succeeded.
He got them back together.
He did.
And stronger than ever?
I think so.
I think so.
Because technically, Natalya's pinned Nikki, and Paige has beaten Nikki. So there should be a triple threat match for the Divas title, but we're just having a tag team match on the pay-per-view.
It's Tag Team Palooza.
It is, which we will get to.
An old ECW pay-per-view that never happened. Tag Team Palooza. You guys remember that? ECW pay-per-view was right before they closed. It was
available on the network.
Tag Team Palooza.
Brie caught a roundhouse kick by Naomi, counter into the Bella Buster, got the win. That was that. Luke Harper promo saying you can send in anyone you want to the Rumble, but do not send in anyone you want back.
Love it.
I love that line.
Then he went like this.
Then that happened. Then he went Pulp Fiction on us.
Yeah.
To my eyes.
Gold and Stardust drawing their numbers for the Rumble. Referee again, just very stoic, standing there watching them do their thing.
So one of the popcorn makers at Disneyland, just spinning, just always spinning.
And Goldust reminds Stardust it's every man for himself. Could this be seed planting for something?
Love to.
Please.
And the man who drew number 2. Same
Smash.
music. Ooh, yeah.
They just come out together.
They got to actually smash it. Why not? These two, okay, they're probably never going to get their Mania match against each other.
Don't say that. I've been asking since I've been in AfterBuzz for that.
Look, I'm gonna hit you with the hard truth, okay?
Maybe Fastlane.
Is it harder than the chair?
Oof, maybe Fastlane. I think a lot of stuff could happen at Fastlane. It could be the new, like, this is the one to watch. This is the new Money in the Bank. Who knows? Maybe 1 and 2 in the Rumble. It's time. It's been enough time since old Axe and Smash went at it. Also,
dominated tag team.
This just brought me back to Reigns promo. Why did he say last year I threw my partners out? What do you think I'll do to everyone else who I don't care about? You know what I mean?
That's what.
That's the button.
Do you guys do that at home when he does that? Do you go?
Maybe.
I always do. I always do.
Yeah.
You know, maybe when I'm like,
little pee out.
I'm getting ready to go out tonight. I'm just doing one more check in the mirror. I'm just like, I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
No, I go full onto the ground, up in the mirror.
Yeah.
Ooh, one double cheeseburger, please.
Yeah. Sorry to get us off track.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
And I Ric Flair into the bed every
Yeah, you put us the fast lane to Nowhereville.
Side note, speaking of Ric Flair, I mean, it is a sports reference, but is Ric Flair now an NFL curse? Has anybody noticed this?
Yeah. That one team, the Niners?
Well, no, yeah, it was the Panthers last year. And then it was...
Well, they got mad because then he did something with the Niners.
That's right. That's what it was. And the Niners
lost.
And then this year with the Colts, and then they just got destroyed.
Yeah. Although they got beat by the dirtiest players in the game. So it all comes full circle in the fast lane of life in the NFL. And Tag Team Palooza coming up next week at the ECW Arena. Call the hotline for tickets.
Before I keep going on the card, can we have like a Tag Team Palooza at $5 wrestling?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
For people that haven't been familiarized with $5 wrestling, break it down because it's nothing short of incredible.
Our motto is wrestling so bad it's good. If you've ever been to an independent show and you've seen somebody and you went, wow, that's an interesting character, imagine an entire company full of them. The people who wrestling companies have said no, and I'm not even talking about the WWE. I'm talking about, like, you know, Bill's Championship Wrestling.
I love
BCW. Yeah, I believe they're sending their tag team champion. They're U.S. tag team champions to the Tag Team Palooza. But basically, these are people who just love wrestling so much. Maybe they're not the greatest wrestlers on the planet. No one's ever going to mix that up. Okay, no one's ever going to say, hey, that was the greatest match I've ever seen. But we have some of the greatest cast of characters, and we've got a couple people who I think legit, if there was a Nitro, would be on. They would do something on Nitro.
If the year was 2001, they would be on it.
You cannot tell me Freight Train would not be.
Freight Train would be the television champion.
He would be something. Big Donnie would be something. There would be some of these people, and they've created their own fan bases, and they're gigantic wrestlers we watch on Mondays and Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays, whatever. They're fans.
And you and Cole Cabana, you guys pretty much kind of do like the commentary for it.
We do the Mystery Science Theater style commentary. We do it lovingly. These are like our family members. We can make fun of them, but other people can't make fun of them. And we've had lots of fun on the DVDs are only $5. We shot ourselves in the foot with that dumb price. We do live shows, Mania weekends, all sorts of fun stuff, and it's amazing. It's
Are you going to be doing a show this Mania weekend?
We will.
Up north in San Jose.
Up north in San Jose. Vince couldn't stop us.
I might have to visit him.
Yeah, we're all going up.
Yeah, we're all going to be there.
Yeah, WrestleCon. We're going to be having a big old event. Hardy's against Sabu and Rob Van Dam. Tag team of Palooza. Yeah,
literally.
Yeah,
the newest members of $5 Wrestling.
No. No. And I'll be calling that action with PWG's Excalibur. So it's gonna be good.
Very cool. Well, a guy who is familiar with PWG, Ring of Honor, all that. Luke Harper taking on Eric Rowan. Another powerhouse type match. Rowan powerbombed Harper, and it looked really, really painful.
It looked scary. He got him up, and it was one of those like, please stay.
Just pull me down and try again.
Yeah. We're on SmackDown. They let it out.
Yeah.
Please don't kill me.
Everybody, we're going back to 1. Take 2.
Yeah. Don't Bob Holly me here.
Oh God.
Oh boy. As Eric Rowan is climbing to the top rope, Byron Saxton says, and I quote, "Rowan is a walking haunted house with a library inside."
Such a good line.
Painted a picture for me. Mm-hmm. And I see him in that library. Just looking at a book. You gonna go scare those kids yet? No, I'm reading. I'm reading.
Looks up, notices you there, and just gives you a...
Yeah. Shh. Points to the quiet.
Quiet, please.
Quiet reading. Put on your sheep mask and start reading.
I'm busy reading letter D of the encyclopedia.
How proud do you think Barrett was when he got that line off?
Oh, he was like, I got one. I got a good one.
Afterwards, Lawler's like, you hold on to that one, kid.
That's all you're getting.
Every time he's in the ring, I want to hear that one.
That's going to be the new thing.
Yeah, Vince back. Oh, that was great.
Here comes the walking on house with library inside.
That's his new shirt.
Yeah.
There's a haunted house. You see one light with like a couple of books in the back.
Yeah.
And it's in the shape of a sheep.
Does he have the librarian?
That will be the new like knockoff Lego place that they have. It'll be Rowan and then a haunted house, but he's in his library.
Spectacles on.
Yeah. Bray Wyatt's outside with the lantern looking in.
I'll tell you what, he just locked himself a role in the next Scooby-Doo movie.
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, yes.
That's what I'm thinking.
Hey, man, don't you judge, because that movie was great.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying he booked a role in it. Harper won the match, so Eric Rowan not in the Rumble. Interesting how they did 2 wins and then a loss. Yeah.
Interesting. I like it.
I wonder what they're going to do with him.
Yeah.
We'll have to find out. In the fast lane? All right.
He's going to have a car with a sheep's face on it.
Yeah.
Authority backstage. Kane asks Seth Rollins if he can borrow J&J security.
Because they're killing it.
Because he's
100% of the time they're just on it.
Yeah. Well, remember at the beginning of the show, Kane said, "You might forget how sadistic I am, so I need Joey Mercury and Jamie Noble to help me out in this match."
Remember that one time he broke his face on a ladder? Yeah, I need that guy.
Rather than getting my mask out of that glass box,
or asking Seth Rollins or the Big Show.
Sure. I'm gonna borrow these 2 little guys. These little guys.
Isn't he the director of operations? Couldn't he say like, "Oh, you know what? I decided to make this a 3-on-1 match,
a lumberjack match,
anything, whatever."
No, this is a kendo stick. I mean, a no disqualification match. We have a chair and a kendo stick. ECW.
Miz and Mizdow backstage. Miz just pretty much asking if the coffee or cappuccino, whatever the hell it was that Mizdow brought him, is his way of apologizing for taking time away from being his stunt double to be a stunt double for X-Pac on the Raw reunion.
That's a fun spot.
And Mizdow said, "Well, the crowd seemed to like it." And Miz is like, "No, they only love me. You're just a stunt double." And he walked away. Then the Usos come in, and apparently Mizdow had no idea that the Royal Rumble's every man for himself, because the Usos remind him of that. And you can have your chance of eliminating Miz.
Also very friendly for a tag team they're feuding
They're about to defend the titles with.
Defend the titles?
3 days. 4
on
days.
Sunday, but
I guess you could say they're trying to plant the seeds of deception.
Maybe they're trying to do what Miz failed to do with Jimmy and Naomi.
Yeah. Because we don't talk about that anymore.
Nope.
That's done. That is donezo.
Can we talk about the Bellas again?
What do you want to talk about them? They're stronger than ever.
They're going to be wrestling as
just
sisters.
How much I love how strong they are together as a tag team.
Okay.
Perfect.
Daniel Bryan versus Kane, no DQ match, candlesticks, like we mentioned, some stairs, some chairs.
Tag Team Palooza.
They took apart the announce table, but never used it.
Took care of that monitor, though.
They did.
Gently took care of that
The nice one. That nice one. The one that they're actually using.
Yeah, those old school ones, to hell with those.
Throw those.
But that middle one, that new nice one.
How have they never improved the quality of those monitors that they throw to the side?
For show.
You know, they bought Tout thinking that was going to be a major company or a giant stake in Tout. You think at some point Vince would be like, I got it. We're gonna invest in those little monitors. You know, wireless. You pull it out, it doesn't go off. You know. Who knows?
Who knows? Daniel Bryan, it locks in the yes lock. Security, as in J&J security, they break the hold. Bryan takes both of them out. Kane catches him in a choke slam, but Bryan kicks out at 2, where the commentators are going crazier than they did for Cena on Raw when it was Rollins, Kane, and Big Show against him, and he somehow kicked out. This was a bigger deal because they're really putting over Joey Mercury and Jamie Noble.
Well, if you put them on shoulder to shoulder, it's about as big as the Big Show.
Okay.
They're actually the number 2 seed in Tag Team Palooza.
Are they?
Yeah, they're good.
I thought Warlord was, because he drew number 2.
No. The Powers of Pain, they're like number 4, I think, in the Legends division.
I got it to Vegas.
Where's High Voltage?
High Voltage, they are going to be they're alternates. If Strike Force doesn't come back.
Oh, please come
back. They haven't talked since Mania 5. Still, Tito's just like, I can't trust him. And Martel's like, I just want to work. Let's do this. I got one more run left in me. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Daniel Bryan hit the running knee, gets the win. So he's in the Rumble. He's walking up the ramp to celebrate. Big Show comes down now after the match for some reason. Attacks him, throws him back in the ring. Out come the rest of the Authority. Out comes Ryback, Ziggler, and Rowan. And out comes everybody for your craziness. Throwing everyone over the top rope and to SmackDown before Royal Rumble. Amber's music hits for some reason.
Yeah.
And then Reigns' music hits. And it's a game of how many people can get eliminated before Reigns gets to the ring.
Last year, when he was in the Rumble, did they all come out from
Reigns came just through like everyone else.
They came through the ramp, everybody.
Okay.
Well, Rollins came out the crowd because he was number 1.
Okay.
Or 2.
Yeah,
but I like this. I like this idea of like, young man, if you're going to be in my Rumble, you're going to use the stage like everyone else. You got that? You're not more. Yeah, because if he did come from the crowd, like you said, it would probably be ready for the next. Like that one year, they only did like 1-minute entries.
Yeah,
every minute.
Short.
And you get or you get Roman Reigns coming down, and you'd always have the next guy who would probably beat him to the ring.
and then we do have
Unless
to.
it was the Great Khali.
We do have to briefly touch on the double Superman punch. Or the echo, or the ripple, or what would you call this type of Superman punch that magically hit both Noble and Mercury?
Something you would see in WWE Immortals, available on iOS for free.
Mark was playing it throughout the podcast last week.
I can just imagine somebody being like, I got an idea.
You know, it was Vince.
Yeah.
I love the Three Stooges. Kids are only talking about the Three Stooges.
Remember how Shemp would slap Mo and Larry? Shemp? You know Shemp? Everyone's like, no, we're millennials. We're millennials, Vince. Well, God damn it, your grandparents would like it there. And imagine both of your heads are close, and I slap both of you.
The taste right out of your mouth.
Roman? Roman's like, oh, God, everyone on the internet's going to hate this.
Sure thing, Grandpa.
You're going to do it. All right, here we go. And he and then punched one, and then punched the other.
They didn't have to wind up for the second one. It just stayed.
It wasn't boom and boom. It was, what you need to do is put their heads next to each other, and then hit one, and then that'll recoil like the thing that the rich guys have on their desks in the movies. That's what you need to do. Maybe he'll do that in the Rumble. He'll set up everyone's head and then
like a xylophone of.
Actually, you know what? That's actually a really good tiebreaker question. I'm gonna delete the other one I had.
How many combined Superman?
How many Superman punches will be in the Rumble?
That's fair.
Closest without going over.
All right.
So, well, let's get into our Rumble picks because that's where we're at right now. So, Royal Rumble this Sunday. There's our cool little predictions music.
Are we in the haunted house?
We are
in the library.
Rowan's right over there.
Put my book down.
He's reading Pride and Prejudice right now.
Good read.
Very sophisticated.
All right, so first
Sponsored
off,
by Audible.com.
the kickoff match, 6-man tag, which is apparently the theme of the undercard for the Rumble.
Take two.
Head shot.
Yes.
Ched shot.
Fast lane.
Ched shot.
Tag team turmoil.
New Day versus Cesaro, Tyson Kidd, and Adam Rose, because they're all together now.
And this is an elimination match?
This is just 6-man tag.
I thought it was elimination.
Oh, 6-team elimination match.
Is it elimination?
Elimination. It says so right here.
Okay, well that makes it a little more exciting.
Does it really? Does it really make it more exciting?
It will fill up the kickoff portion.
Man. We can get that hard-hitting Alex Riley, color commentary.
I feel sorry for him.
Corey Graves is schooling him right now.
He is, and he's barely had any experience.
Let me out of my cage. I'm Alex Riley.
Worst Photoshop job.
Let me out of my cage, guys.
Despite all of his rage, he's just Alex Riley.
Also, though, still a very good impression by Marty Derosa.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Catch me.
Again, I close my eyes.
Catch me at Fastlane.
Fastlane Comedy Club down on Ventura.
Yeah. So I'll just say New Day's going to win because they're probably going to win. Sure. So I'm picking New Day.
I mean, it's going to be a fun match, I hope. I'll say New Day, because I mean, nobody in this match is going to win the Royal Rumble if all of them are in it.
Xavier Woods is winning the Rumble.
I would love it. I would absolutely love it. I want Kofi Kingston one of these years to actually win the Royal Rumble after save after save after save after save. But it's not happening this year. Doesn't seem like.
Marty, who are you picking?
I am also going to go with the New Day.
The New Day. Don't you love how before they did they changed the name? Another tag team match we touched on a little earlier, the Ascension versus the New Age Outlaws. If the Ascension lose this match, they are done.
Yeah, done. Then they will be at Tag Team Palooza for real. I'm looking at the camera right now.
First round matchup against Techno Team 2000.
Call me. Ooh.
No, 3 count. Come on.
Well, which members?
Ooh, good. Well, let's give Shane a chance.
Yeah. Sugar Shane and Evan Courageous. What are you talking about? This is Sugar Shane Helms.
So I'm picking Ascension.
I mean, if the Ascension do not win this, like you said, I think it's safe to say that they are going to get a call from Dixie Carter. Hey, boys. I also do Dixie Carter. I don't know if you need that.
I wasn't looking at it. I thought she was here.
Okay,
Afterbuzz.
Music's playing, so we gotta get the rest of our picks in quick. Paige and Natalia versus the Bellas. I'll say Paige and Natalia because no title.
I'm gonna go with the Bellas. I sense dissension in the ranks between Paige and Natalia.
Tag titles: Miz and Mizdow versus the Usos.
When I say okay.
Yes. Uso. I agree with you.
Spoke out of turn.
Triple threat match for the WWE Championship: Seth Rollins versus John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. This is an interesting one.
This is a two-parter because I don't know who's going to win the match, but I think somehow Seth Rollins is cashing in and taking home the hardware.
I 100% agree with you. I'm saying Lesnar wins, Heyman turns, and Rollins cashes in. But the actual match, Lesnar wins.
Yeah, straight up match, I'd say Bork Laser.
Bork Laser wins the match, and then Seth somehow
catches in.
The Superman punch tiebreaker. Does anyone want to pick one? I'm saying 8 Superman punches in the Rumble.
4.
I'm going to go over. I'll take the over.
And finally, who wins the Rumble?
Want Daniel Bryan, probably Roman Reigns.
Same Roman Reigns.
I agree. Yeah, I like that. Want.
No,
want Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, want Kofi Kingston.
You ready for this?
Tyson Kidd.
You ready for this? I'm gonna get a lot of flack on this in the comments and tweets.
Rusev.
Dolph Ziggler's winning the Rumble.
I would love it.
Ziggler is winning the Rumble.
And then he takes that momentum into Fastlane
and loses
his spot to
Eric Rowan.
To Rollins.
All right.
So that's our picks, everyone. Make sure you leave comments on YouTube and on iTunes, and of course tweet us. Mark, how can people reach out to you?
You can find me on Twitter at Soapbox Mark. You can find me on YouTube, Soapbox Car TV. That's where we do all of our wrestling entertainment. It's not, we're not like, oh, Raw was fun. No, we do sketches, we do reviews, we have a championship that we defend in wrestling video games throughout history. Check it out. Why not? Everybody. And follow me there. Let's talk.
All right. Our awesome special guest, Marty Derosa. Thank you so much for being here.
This is fun.
We got $5 wrestling.
We do.
We got worst promo ever.
We do.
We got wrestling with depression.
We do.
What else can we plug?
You can check out the oldies. Creative Has Nothing For You. That was me and Cole Cabana's original web series.
Fantastic.
Catchy theme song. At Marty Derosa on Twitter and WrestleCon.com for all the details. And if you're going to Mania, I would love to see each and every one of you there.
We'll be there.
Yeah, we'll
and where are you performing stand-up next? Where are you any place to plug for that?
I have no idea. If you want to book me, Los Angeles, I'm here. Please book me.
All right, sounds good. And of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Real Rosenberg. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Enjoy the Rumble. We'll see you this Sunday. For Mark Donica and Marty Derosa, I'm Christian Rosenberg. We'll see you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Afterbuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the Afterbuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of Afterbuzz TV.
Buzz you later. The Fast Lane.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.